In the fall, we sat on the steps of the weathered armory on Main Street in Princeton, gazing at the parade of car-top carcasses heading south on U.S. Highway 169 after the deer hunt. We were happy kids, content to laugh off the bloody procession before us, inventing backstories about almost every car. Most of them were hunters heading home. Clean cars were mysteries to be solved. So we filled in the unknowns with childish humor. One or more of those deerless cars over the years certainly carried the young Bobby Zimmerman to St. Paul from his parents' home in the northern terminus of U.S. Highway 169, Hibbing, Minnesota. By 1964, we were strumming Monkey Ward's guitars on the armory steps, purchased with Minneapolis Star paper route earnings. My drummer friend Jim would tap out the Mersey beat behind my 12-string acoustic guitar on the hardwood handrails leading up into the auditorium. The armory was our turf, where the underbeats and a flock of regional bands took the spotlights each season to play the big hits of mid-America. Foot Stompin', Liar Liar, 6 Days on the Road. David Rifkin's cover of Little Latin Loopy-Loo by his group, The Chancellors. From Mankato, Dale Menton's Run, Run, Run with the Gestures. And the biggest worldwide smash of them all, Surfin' Bird, The Bird is a Word. The Armory and nearby Spectacle Lake Ballroom were our very own Cavern Club, Whiskey A Go-Go, and Grand Ole Opry gone local. It didn't matter that we were bumpkins from the northern wilderness. After the Beatles appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, I was a dog with a bone. Jim and I formed a dozen garage bands around us, the Soul Stalwarts. We mimicked regional hits at school dances mixed with British invasion stuff we'd memorized. Listening to KDWB and WDGY, the big city radio stations beaming loud and clear halfway to Hibbing. Around midnight, wherever I happened to be, my transistor radio came alive with a world of entertainment unlike anything I'd heard from the local stations. Scrolling with my thumb on the tuner, I joined the Louisiana Hayride from Shreveport until it faded. The next big find might be WSM, the Grand Ole Opry from Nashville, KOMA from Oklahoma City, or WOLS, clear as a bell from Chicago. 150 miles north of me on any given midnight, Bobby Zimmerman was glued to the same stations, armed with a bigger radio and sitting on the biggest antenna on Earth, the Mesabi Iron Range. All of a sudden, it was July of 1965 at Camp Odua in Wyoming, Minnesota, where I was a counselor. The morning of July 25th began quietly like any other Sunday. Between sessions, the camp was empty, save us counselors, a nurse at the infirmary, and Director Dave Moore, hunched over his small desk in headquarters, preparing to welcome a new batch of cubbies and scouts. I walked down a narrow path a half-mile west of there in a reflective, serene mood. In the secret pocket of my safari shorts was my contraband transistor radio I'd smuggled into camp on day one. I walked until I had reached a point far enough away from the tents to go undetected, slipped the earphone into my right ear, and found the strongest signal. It was KDWB. What happened next still rings in my right ear. An anxious, wailing voice, mixed just barely above a raucous, tack piano-driven electric band, drew me into a hypnotic, delirious chorus. How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own? To be without a home, like a complete unknown. No direction home, like a rolling stone. Something was happening here, but I didn't know what it was. Or did I? My mind reeled as I shivered through an eerie out-of-body rush. This strange new talk-sing music thing ended too soon. I wanted more. I wanted to hear it again, immediately. What was this noise blasting through my 14-year-old brain? I stood there stunned as the thing faded with the bluesy guitar figure driving upward as it vanished into thin air. Bob Dylan had pierced my post-adolescent defenses, reaching into my heart right then and there, where he has lived every day since then. The DJ, Perry St. John, came on the mic and gave me all the information I needed in the aftermath of What the Hell Was That? I tucked the song title away in my elephant's memory, already overloaded with insignificant pop music trivia, album covers, and headed back toward our civilized encampment only to pretend that nothing had happened. I'd been branded by a lightning bolt so fierce it remains burned into my aging bones until the day that I am no more. Next door to my tent, a bright-faced kid ambled up to the platform, backpack and sleeping bag in hand. Seeing no one inside, he glanced my way. I intervened. "Did you bring your mosquito netting?" "Yep, in my pack." "I'm Kevin, your next-door neighbor." "Bobby Rifkin." "How you doing?" "I know what you're going to ask. My brother's band, the Chancellors?" The answer is yes. I'm David Rifkin's baby brother. Well, that was all I needed to hear. This was the summer of two Bobs, both of whom would figure in my daily meditations from that day forward. Within a decade, little Bobby Rifkin had grown up, and we were together again in a recording studio, making an album produced by his older brother, my first genuine hero. My stock was rising fast, following a lucky confluence of the stars that had put me in another Minneapolis studio with my new hero. Blood on the Tracks had become, in 3 dizzying months, fastest and best-selling studio album in Bob Dylan's catalog to that point, and he was just getting restarted. My name is Kevin Odegard. At 72 years old, I have lived most of my life in the pleasant, cool shadow of Bob Dylan.